What happened to Catrin Maguire, the university student who disappeared without a trace? This is my first write-up, so please excuse any errors. I was going through the Missing People UK site and wanted to introduce some cases to this subreddit that may not have been discussed before. All being well, I plan on doing some more obscure write-ups over the coming months. This is Catrin Maguire's story. She disappeared on November 15, 2021, aged just 22. Heartbreaking. I hope her family can get some closure soon. Catrin Maguire was born on July 9, 1999 to parents Jerry and Wendy Maguire in the port town of Holyhead, Wales. She has a younger brother, Kieran. Little is publicly known about Catrin's childhood and life, but statements by acquaintances regarded her as a quiet and well-mannered young woman. She belonged to a close-knit friendship group and, in Jerry's words, this friendship group did everything together from socializing to weekends away. Catrin was also in her final year of study for a bachelor's degree in health and social care at Bangor University. Up until her disappearance, Catrin appeared to be optimistic about her future. She'd made plans to take a gap year and travel after completing her degree and then enroll at Newman University in Birmingham to pursue a master's. Aged 22 at the time of her disappearance, Catrin seemed to know that the world was her oyster and her future was going to be a bright and vibrant one. In August 2021, Catrin attempted to file a police report for verbal assault and harassment against the letting agent of a flat that she had shared with a friend. She had emailed the letting agent to inform her that there was an odd smell in the corner of her bedroom, her mattress was broken, and there was a bee's nest outside her friend's bedroom window. Catrin's letting agent arrived at the flat with her business partner shortly after this email was sent to confront Catrin. The letting agent then barraged Catrin with verbal abuse to such an extent that her business partner had to take her outside. At this point, the letting agent was so enraged she smashed her own phone. Catrin had tried several times to report this incident to the police, but the police turned her away. It was only after Catrin's disappearance that this incident was investigated. No charges were brought against the letting agent on the basis that she did not have any previous criminal charges. The letting agent's partner owned the flat above Catrin's and, shortly after she and her friend had moved in, began a complete renovation of this flat. This meant that Catrin and her friend were subjected to the constant sounds of drilling and loud music between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. most days, and workmen urinating outside their bedroom windows, as there were no toilets on site. Spores of black mold began appearing throughout Catrin's and their ceiling began to cave in as a consequence of the renovations occurring upstairs. The letting agent was condemned by local authorities for the condition of the flat. Catrin and her friend then moved out. When the letting agent's partner was informed of this, he suggested that the girls would have to recuperate the remaining rent that they owed through other means. I'm not able to find any more information about this suggestion, though. Catrin then moved back in with her parents. At this point, Catrin's friends began to grow concerned for her and noticed that she wasn't acting like her usual self. It should be noted that these concerns were not shared with Catrin's parents until several months after her disappearance. Jerry and Wendy believed that all was fine, but were not aware of the full extent to which Catrin had been harassed by her letting agent and business partner. Jerry believes the reason for this to be Catrin's anticipation of his reaction towards the letting agent's partner. However, Catrin then found another flat to rent with her friend in Upper Bangor. Aware of the circumstances in which Catrin had left her last flat, the letting agent had allowed Catrin to have a trial period of a month living in the new flat before committing to a contract. Catrin had arranged with the letting agent to sign this contract at 4 p.m. on November 15. However, she did not arrive. The exact movements of Catrin on November 15 are unclear. She bought a return train ticket from Bangor to Holyhead early that morning, indicating that she was planning to return back to her flat to sign the contract later that day. She arrived at Holyhead at 11:30 a.m. and a doorbell camera placed her walking past Uscaldishrodcargibe Secondary School in the direction of Ingok at 12:20 p.m. Her last confirmed sighting was at 1:18 p.m. by the RSPB Cafe in South Stack. There are no mentions of further sightings after this. South Stack is a popular tourist destination, especially amongst walkers and birdwatchers. However, I couldn't find any information as to whether Catrin enjoyed these activities herself. Her friend messaged her at 2 p.m. to remind her that they had to meet their letting agent at 4 p.m. and sign the contract for their flat. Catrin did not respond to this text message. Catrin's friend then contacted Catrin's parents at 8 p.m. the next day to ask if they had seen or heard from Catrin, which they hadn't. At this point, Catrin had been unaccounted for over 28 hours and her parents reported her missing to the police. Despite extensive searches of land and sea by the police, RNLI, and other volunteers, no evidence pertaining to Catrin was found. She'd disappeared without a trace. It has now been 11 months since Catrin's disappearance, and nothing has come to light about what fate may have befallen her on that cold November day. Catrin's parents believe that her friends may know more than they are letting on. Her father has stated that none of these close friends had joined any searches for Catrin, shared more than a missing poster on their social media, if that, and acted as if she never existed. She had so many plans and an ambition that would have allowed her to achieve it all. What happened to Catrin Maguire?